lichess, as usual, with our account Sparkle Horse. We're also streaming on Twitch. My handle on Twitch is Slaggy. I guess you're probably watching if you're hearing this, so you already know that. Today we're playing just what I call fast blitz. For me it's fast since we play mostly 8-3 challenges and stuff like that. We're playing just 5+3 today. Casual challenges. No rated games since we're kind of handicapped. I usually lose all my rated games, so I'm trying to avoid those. Playing rated games and blitz is another kind of mindset. I'm not really good at multitasking and talking and giving away my ideas and then winning rated games. So we keep it casual while we're playing in the stream here. 5+3, we've got challenges from World Loser, Mule Skinner, Hetre, Plukro, Mupavats. He's going up. He's up to 2677. Constant Change and Milan Cry. The Twitch channel. Someone was saying the Twitch channel is getting popular. I don't know, maybe. I'm not seeking world fame, but you know, I like it when we've got more people and it's growing. So let's get started without further ado. I'm not really warmed up. World Loser's pretty fast, pretty tough. We're playing our normal openings. Guys, on Sunday I'm going to be doing a simul at 6:30 p.m. CET, Central European Time. So before I get started, just wanted to say that last week we didn't have a simul because I was traveling, but this week it's on. So if you want to play slow simul, basically it's 40 plus 40 time control with a little bit of extra time. Sunday here on lichess, 6:30 p.m. European Time. Alright, so we're going to get started. World Loser. I'm going to keep it kind of quiet because I'm usually not warmed up. So I'm not ready to play e4 yet. Fast Friday. We call it Fast Friday. It should be like relatively Fast Friday. I mean 5-3 isn't, by today's internet standards, isn't a very fast time control, but that's the fastest I play while commentating, basically. I think anything beyond that, you know, I mean, I know that people stream and they play bullet and stuff, but that's not my goal, you know. I mean, to try to show off and play really fast. Basically, our main focus is on instruction in improving my own game and helping to improve your guys' games as well. So, World Loser, Bishop b4 is a very unusual move. This anti-Slav, I mean, that's your dark square bishop. It seems like a piece you really want to keep on the board to guard the dark squares, so I think it's strange to play bishop b4 here. Alright, let's just develop. If I play a3, I just chase him back to where he belongs, I guess. So there's a real question about whether to do this or not. It's interesting. He goes for e5 now. There may be something to this, but I like taking on d5. Now that his knight's on d7, he doesn't have the better square c6. a3. It's too late for a3. Now he plays bishop d6 and he's sort of solved his problems. Interesting. On b4, the bishop's not a target to something like knight to b5. I could play knight to b5 anyway, though. Maybe that's the way to go here. Now, if I play knight b5 anyway, he's going to play just a6, yeah. It doesn't work. Alright, maybe I'll just play d4 and play it like a French type position, because his bishop doesn't control e5. I don't really love this, but we get a kind of lock structure. Taking on e5 isn't really possible. It's basically like a Rossalimo with colors reversed, but I don't think I have any advantage. He's playing this really well today. Alright. I just don't have any advantage here. Maybe knight b5. Using no time. Thanks for the host. Police Chief is with us. Man, this is really weird. Bishop b4. Did you just make that up? Because it totally messed me up. It doesn't look like a good move, but I couldn't come up with any answer to it. Alright. Absolutely nothing for white here. It's so strange. It might actually be less than nothing for white. Black has a space advantage here with the e4 pawn. He's used 0 time. Maybe knight b5? Knight b5, queen a5 is just trouble. Maybe I'll play a4 here. It's kind of a weakening move, but it would secure knight b5, also give me sometimes knight a2. That was one of my ideas. The dude is just coming out of the gate like playing like God. I was completely unprepared for this. What time do you wake up, World Loser? Like 4 a.m. or you just never woke up? Maybe he just stayed up all night and he's really fresh. Good there is a host here, says the ominous monkey. The other stream had a lot of trolls. The other stream? We don't have another stream. There's just one. The other stream. A host, you mean a moderator? Yeah, the trolls are bad news. This position is pretty awkward for white. I don't like my game. He's played extremely strong. World Loser's inconsistent. I don't know. Sometimes he plays really, really well, and other times he plays very badly. So he's extremely difficult to predict. This game he came out with bishop b4 in the opening. I have no idea what that is. I mean, it screams that it's like an incorrect move, but I came up with absolutely nothing against it. It doesn't feel right under any circumstances to come here, but I came up with no solution basically. Played a little too passively, perhaps. Yeah, bishop d2. We're going to lose control of the open file under any circumstances. And white has more space on the queen side, black on the king side. Queen b6 here. He's playing pretty quickly. So rook d1. Perhaps this wasn't my best move. I mean, some consideration should be given to bishop a3 in this position. I'm just like really offended by that bishop in my position. Not happy about that. He went bishop a5. Probably that's a mistake. He should play bishop b4, not to let me do this. It seems to me like after this, black is no longer better. I could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong a lot. But we've got bishop c5. Other nasties in mind here. So he got a little bit, seems like he got a little bit too ambitious there. Not like black's losing or anything by any stretch of the imagination, but he lost a lot of his advantage here. Sticking his bishop in on d2, okay. But what does he achieve in the long run? Nothing. White's okay now. It looks like we can take back the open file and more or less equalize. I can't be too ambitious though. I mean, I don't want to be too ambitious here. Because objectively, I don't have any claim to an advantage by any means either. We have less space on the king side. Looks like a Slav. I just feel lucky to have escaped that position. I mean, it was terrible. He has total domination with control of the c-file and I mean, my knight is bad no matter where it goes here, but this just, I don't know which is better. Maybe it objectively doesn't really matter which way I recapture here. I'm just trying to hold on. We have less space. Maybe b4. Objectively, this is a draw. b4 is kind of weakening the c4 square. Right out of the gate, I had a bad game. Now it looks equal. Black has a little bit more space, though. It's not to be underestimated. What's up, guys? He can play very well. His usual flaw, like constant changes, that he tends to play too fast. This is kind of a common theme here. A lot of players are used to playing really fast blitz, I guess, and just play all their games ultra fast, regardless of the time control. And World Loser will do that very often. Just basically move too quickly. It seems like if he took his time, he could play, master strength consistently, I think, or at least close to it. Candidate master, whatever you like to call it, like 2200-ish. All right, what are we doing now? Maybe bishop c5. Bad bishop outside the pawn chain. We have some chances. Maybe his pawns will get weak. These two, in a sense, he has two weaknesses, and we have just one. So if you look at that in that perspective, the d5 pawn's not isolated, but it is. What do you call that anyway? I mean, it's not really a backward pawn. I've asked this question before. Since Hans Kmock is dead, sounds like the name of a band or something. Hans Kmock is dead. Which tour you played 2001 Belgrade? I mean, I don't know. It was at the Serbian Chess Federation or whatever. I mean, I forget the name of the organizer. It's right on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember. There were a lot of strong players. It was a GM tournament. It was let me see. Nitsevich played. Bakre from India. Not Teglash, what's his name? Bakre from India, me, Maximenko. No, is Maximenko his name? That's not right. At the Serbian Chess Federation or whatever there in Belgrade, I don't know. It was a GM tournament. I think it was 2001. He just lost his pawn structure here. I don't know what happened. He got a little overextended, but White had a fantastically bad opening, guys. I mean, it's like clear advantage to black after 11 moves. What's up with bishop b4? It's like a totally random move. I've never seen this in my life. I don't even know what its point is, but he messes me up because like I don't know what to do. I should have played something like queen c2 in this position. I should have prepared myself for the e5 push. That was my mistake in this game. Not preparing for action along the c file quick enough. So that tournament I played in Belgrade 2001, let's see, who did I lose to? I lost to Milko Popchev in a very stupid game. I think I started off well. I was like +2, but then I lost some games too. Probably finished on 50%. I don't know. But Serbian players, there was a lot of foreign players. Arnaud Payen from France. Nobody really strong. Kind of weaker GMs. Alright. Mule Skinner is up next. We're having trouble with our memory, basically. Getting into middle age at 39, being perpetually 39 is taxing my memory, so I can't remember all the players' names. I can remember all their faces. Knight c3. Oh no, we can't play the. Oh no, I can't play the Grand Prix attack again. Let's play g6. You refresh just in case. What's up? The stream is not good. So I was thinking about just pulling my eyes out if I have to play this opening again. I hate the Grand Prix attack, man. It's just sticking pins in your eyes or something would be more fun. It's so boring to play the same thing again and again. I want to kill myself. It's awful. Maybe I'll try knight h6 just for some kind of diversion because we've played this so many times already. We did that against Mule Skinner once before. Okay, castles or bishop d3, knight h6. Against castles, I think you have to play takes on b5. He's actually switched up on me. He's played, I think, castles as well. So Roman Gingiashvili and I talked about knight h6 as an alternative here. Alright, anyway, I'm going to play the normal move. It's d6. d6, right? d6 followed by knight f6. So anyway, MU Povats was asking me about a tournament I played in Belgrade 2001. And I remember everything, but I don't remember the names of everybody. There was weaker grandmasters. Popchev was like 2400. It was 2450 or something. Nikčević was like 2450. There was another grandmaster from Serbia who I played twice and I can't remember his name. I've played him 3 times and I can't remember his name. This tournament I think I beat him. Oh well. We need to take some kind of drugs to improve our memory. Does ginkgo biloba really work? Honestly, I was never good at remembering names. I always remember people's faces, and I very rarely forget, someone I met them. But I often forget someone's name actually like in the first 30 minutes after they're introduced. I don't know if you guys had the same kind of experience, but okay. So king h1, sidestepping, bishop takes b5, queen b6 check, and now I don't remember what I decided with this line. There was a game I think I saw in the database where someone went like bishop b7, knight g3, h5. Like, no kidding. I mean, somebody like seriously played like h5 with black in this position. But that seems a little bit, I don't know, that seems a little bit over the top. So I'm honestly not sure if I want to play bishop b7. We could play a5. I've definitely done that before. Yeah, I mean, why not just play a5? Ah, I see, because there's a trick. Okay, a5, bishop takes b5, knight takes e4, bishop c6, and he wins material. So maybe we do have to do bishop b7, but then, man, I don't know. Maybe rook b8. I'm just spending too much time on this move. Actually, queen b6. Queen b6, knight g3, knight g4 doesn't work. We could play queen b6 and b4. What about just like b4 right away? It's an interesting concept. Yeah, Dejan Antic, exactly. I forgot. Yeah, I played him 3 times. I played him in Philadelphia. I played him here in Hungary, and I played him there. Right. So that was the one game I won against him in that tournament, and I don't remember. I must have been white. And then I lost to him in Philadelphia in a more important game, and I ended up drawing with him once here. Yeah, he moved to Australia or something, right? That's what I heard. Antic. I don't know. I guess they say Dejan, right? I'm not sure. Dejan Antic. That's right. You must have seen the cross table or something. A5. Or else you have psychic powers. A5. Take. All right. I'm just playing too slow. Trying to play perfect moves. Alright, whatever. Mule Skinner, it's not the traditional Grand Prix attack here. He's playing very solidly with bishop d2, not taking on b4. Have you ever beaten Magnus? I know, I only lost to Magnus, like most people. I don't think I've ever played him like online or anything. Though I had a decent game against him that I tell the story a lot, where I probably could have held if I had had more time. It was a very strange ending. Queen and 7 against queen and 7. It's not every day. I don't think I've ever had that ending against anybody in a tournament game before. I mean, it's pretty rare to get to a queen endgame with no other pieces and still have 7 pawns left on the board. It was interesting. Alright, so Mule Skinner here. Look how fast he plays. Like, what's the deal with that? How can Mule Skinner play so darn fast? He's a mysterious guy, this Mule Skinner. Maybe he has... He can't have more than one account. He's got enough games here, but... Seems strong for his rating. Very, very solid, like... I'm gonna get flagged like on time. F5. Damn, dude. F5 is a really timely move because I was thinking about like going queen g4 maybe and trying to get something going over there. Maximovich, that's what I said. Yeah, I played those guys. I had a really good game against Niksevic, and I ended up not winning. He played the Norwegian variation of the Roy Lopez against me, and I had a really cool game in that, but he drew. I lost some stupid games in that tournament. I lost to Bakre and I lost to Milko Popchev, both in totally reasonable positions. Popchev played like a totally innocuous opening, and then like I did something stupid. Rook F4, trying to beg me or trick me into playing this. What is going on here? Mule Skinner's got 2 minutes to my 9 seconds. How could he have such a time advantage, dude? I don't even know what to do. I feel like I'm playing God. The way he has all of his pieces trained on me, rook f4, rook h4. So fast. It's all I can do just not to lose on time here. Definitely a strange player. Basically, all I can do is kind of move back and forth because I don't have any way forward in this position. He's got me completely paralyzed. I actually like Black's position, but structurally, I'm a little bit better. But he's got me in a situation where I just kind of can't move. I don't have any pawn breaks other than e6. I could have tried to play e6 earlier, but it felt very risky to me. I can't play d5 without allowing e5 unless there's a tactic with d4. And trading pieces with the moving my knight is too dangerous, so we just have to wait for him to run out of time, basically. We just won't do anything. I don't know that he can do anything, honestly. Maybe I could play rook e8, but that weakens f7. He's afraid to play bishop c4. That will give me a chance to play d5 and break out. So it's kind of a situation of like mutual we mutually can't do anything. What is that called? Is there a word for that? Oh, he did something finally. But I don't think this is inherently like dangerous. He traded off his own strong point on e4, which probably only serves to help me. I think I missed a tactic here. We definitely missed something. It's running out of time. Just to be on the ultra safe side, we'll take with the pawn. Pawn. Oh. Oh no. He's threatening the one move cheapo there with knight c5. I still don't have anything clear. Will Skinner really knows this opening. I was basically like paralyzed. I mean, it just didn't seem like there was anything to do. Maybe I'm not lost, but I'm in a position where I almost can't move after this. So King h1, b4. This is a novelty, b4. Maybe it's not the best move, but I told you guys about this game, bishop b7. This is Perelstein versus Martin. I have seen this before, bishop b7, knight g3. The guy actually went h5 here. I thought, this is psychotic, you know, but it's actually a really strong move. So, typical like punishment for the knight on g3. I wasn't sure if it's sound or not, but in retrospect, Perelstein, actually Eugene worked with me and Roman Gigiashvili together, so we we actually worked on this quite a bit, you know, because Roman played this line with white and he recommended in his videos and stuff, so we knew what the best line was for black. But b4 is a new idea. Maybe it's not as good. I thought if he takes, I have queen b6 with interesting play, and bishop d2. So Just he got a really good game. I ran out of ideas here. And rook f4, I don't know, I could win the exchange, but it looks dangerous to play bishop h6. It's a very greedy move. I don't know. Maybe I should go for it, though. So apparently here, one moment he had a move. Bishop c4 now. I didn't think that would work. Queen g5. like the dragon or something. I don't know. It's not that clear. Alright. White was a little better. Hetre. You have to watch out for h5. Probably that's a good idea that guy came up with against Perelstein. I mean, you know, Perelstein was playing Gingy's repertoire, but I had always known that was sort of a weird line for white. I never trusted the Grand Prix, really. d4 now. Let's play either King's Indian or maybe Queen's Indian Bogo. Drawing the Norwegian defense is a feat in itself. Yeah, so this guy, Nikčević, he played right into this famous game like Spassky, basically Spassky Taimanov. And I had used that game as like a model training game. But I think that I was just winning, but I missed the best move at one point. This last year, Ivanchuk actually played the same game as me. I don't remember who he was playing against. Oh, I think, yeah, there was a game, Ivanchuk versus Vallejo, Paco Vallejo, last year, last summer. Ivanchuk repeated the same, the only game that's like followed the exact same moves as my game against Nikčević. That's really interesting. Of course, you know, Ivanchuk and me, great minds think alike. But he was a little bit lucky against Vallejo. I mean, probably Vallejo like made a really bad move at one point. I don't remember which tournament it was in. It was last year, 2016. Let's play a Bogo. Hetre. That's not 5-3. Oh no. Always somebody. Dude, I even put on the screen like 5+3 casual challenges, and the dude's challenging me to 8-3. Yeah, you're right. It's not 5-3. Sorry. It's not 5-3. I was busy talking about the other stuff. I don't even look at the time control. I don't even count how many pieces I have on the board, you know, normally. So I don't know what time control it is. Yeah, 7 minutes. You guys saw me, like I never have any time. Obviously I don't look at the clock. So sorry, but I'll try to move quickly. I'll play like it's a 5-minute game. Yeah, I know. Mistakes have been made. Mistakes have been made with Hetre and the time control. The one day when I put like the 5+3 casual challenges in writing, they still challenged me to 8-3. But I guess the challenge was already up there. I just didn't notice. Yeah, I've got all kinds of 8-3 challenges. Ayeste's also challenging me to 8-3. I should have been more careful. Cobra, Abro challenged me to 8-5. Milan Kurai challenged me to 8-3. Okay, I understand you guys are used to me playing like 8-3, so they're not making the adjustment. Queen C2 now. Alright, we're going to just try to play like it's a 5-minute game. Now B6. Is it too late to do B6 here? I think that theoretically like D5 is probably a main line. But if I wanted to play D4, D5, I guess I would play it on move 1. That's why I normally... I don't like to do it, you know, in the Queen's Gambit decline. I mean, the Queen's Indian or Bogo. To play D5. If I like that structure, I would play D4, D5 with black. That's always been my feeling about it. I don't know. D6. You can play D6. It's totally normal. Playing for dark square strategy. Smyslov. Kyrgios is 6-5. Yeah, I'm just going to nuke the challenges that are not 5-3. Thank you. So don't take it personally if I declined your challenge. It's because of the time control. We're supposed to be playing 5+3 today, guys. Fast Friday, not slow Friday. Het try 8+3, relatively slow. Are I coming to Poland in December? Well, that's a long time away. December is a long time from now. Alright, I'll play along. What's in Poland in December? Besides Santa Claus. E4. E4, E5 looks like it's possible. You just castle or play knight D7. I think I can play E5 here based on tactics. You don't really want him to overrun you with E5 himself. Though usually it's kind of overextended. Megash, the biggest chess tournament ever, wow. In which city? Warsaw? In December. I will check it out. I have some friends that have played in Poland before from here. They've gone to some rapids and other tournaments, so I'll check with them. You know, maybe we can go as we can make a group trip. Some of my former teammates like to travel to tournaments like in Poland and Czech Republic, neighboring countries, Slovakia. It's not that far, so I would definitely consider it. It depends, like, I'd rather be in Las Vegas. It sounds like a bumper sticker or something. I want to play in the North American Open after Christmas, but it's like too far to travel to Las Vegas. It's just too far to go halfway across the world for one chess tournament. And Christmas is like a really, really annoying time to travel. So, yeah, maybe next year I could play a couple tournaments. I don't know. I'd like to have played in Gibraltar in January, but you have to reserve like a year in advance. European Rapid and Blitz Championships. That's what it is. Or there's like multiple tournaments. There's opens as well, or just Rapid and Blitz. Yeah, that sounds like something my friends would be interested in going to. So maybe we can put together a Hungarian company and check it out. That sounds like a lot of fun. I haven't been to a good Rapid tournament in a long time. Gotta boost the Rapid rating. I think I'm under 2400 in that too. I don't have that many Rapid games. I probably have like 30 games or something since Rapid ratings were created. Maybe a little bit more, but not too many. I mean, I think my last Rapid rating was 2360. I got kind of cheated because I played this Mongolian girl who was like 2500 FIDE, and like her Rapid rating was 2050. And I lost to her, but that was kind of bogus. I mean, it just doesn't seem right that like you should play somebody who's 2500 in normal rating and 2050 in Rapid because they don't have any games. I mean, that's really strange. I got paired with her in the first round, not knowing who she was, thinking that she was like a normal 2050. And then I find out that I'm basically playing one of the strongest players in the tournament. As if they were 2050. 2,000 plus players. Sounds like a good field. E4, E5. Well, he's thinking forever here, man. Damn. Yesterday, actually, Hetre, I think, got in time pressure too. Was it yesterday or the day before? Yeah, I mean, the idea was take, knight takes e5, queen d4, and I pick up the pawn on e4, so he can't win a pawn there, he or she. And then I never know whether to give up the center or not around here. Castles is interesting. They have a lot of moves. We're very actively developed here. Knight c6, though, allows closing him up. He allows him to close it up. Maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing, though. Knight c6, d5, knight b8, reposition. White's pieces aren't really well placed for that structure. I could also play knight e7. Maybe that's even better, heading over here to g6. Quite natural, actually. There are some downsides of going knight e7, knight g6. Sorry for the time control, guys. I meant to play 5-3, but Hetre challenged me to 8 plus 3. Actually, no, I want to stay on page. I hate that I can't do hyperlinks and see people's ratings. Knight e7, idea knight g6. It looks fine here. Less passive than going to b8, although I do that all the time in the Nimzo Queen's Indian type positions. Alright, the one thing I'm scared about in this structure is white doing h4 against knight g6. You know, typical idea against... it's a typical idea also in the... maybe I should trade this? I don't know. Nah. Typical idea in the Mexican, or what you call it, the Two Knights Tango. I had a game with this guy Ferenc Frink last fall where he set up with his knight on g6 and f6, and you play like g3 and h4 and h5, and the knights are very embarrassed. But once white castles kingside, that option is no longer really on the table. Well, he's going to go knight a4, looks like. Yeah, I remember he played well with the increment yesterday. Okay, it's all coming back to me now. Yeah, this is a bad day for Hetre. He likes to play with long time controls and increments, and we're supposed to be playing 5-3. So now I have knight g4. That looks kind of interesting. There's nothing for sure though. We're just gonna try to get as active as possible. Rook e2. Wow. Okay, I admit I missed that. Oh well. Kind of messed myself up here. I really screwed this up. I should have probably gone for f5, but I made a huge mistake. Huge mistake playing knight g4. I didn't see rook e2 at all. I thought he had to play knight d1. Now he's going back, and he's prevented my main idea, which was to play bishop g4. Would have been nice, you know, for me to get control of the d4 square. Maybe give my bishop a square at d4, bishop g4, and bishop, get rid of the knight, and then play bishop d4. If he plays knight a4, bishop d4, I don't know. Right, this is sort of standard. But now we can play for f5, that the bishop's off of d3. That's basically right. f5 here. I mean, it's still not a walk in the park. He's actually got some nasty ideas. f5. No, it's okay to do f5, I think. because yes, he will get the e4 square for his pieces, which is very interesting, but at the same time we have an awful lot of play along the f file. You know, with the bishop on c5, rook on f8, bishop g5. I didn't anticipate bishop g5. I was afraid of knight g5. I don't know what's going on now. Queen f7, queen d7, heading for f7. Looks like the plan. Queen e8, heading for f7. Queen d7 is possible too. Yes, I know. But this is the point. He's a absolutely brilliant, like, increment player, for lack of a better terminology. And you would think I would have something here, but it's really not that obvious. We do have something right here. A little bingo. I mean, knight takes h3 check might have been better, but it's all good. I guess taking on f2 isn't bad. This didn't work out very well for white. Fundamentally, like, it seems like it should have been okay for white somehow, but kind of got lost in the complications. Okay, guys, just 5-3. I'm gonna just decline any challenges that are longer. Kyria Kospes, it needs to be 5-3. Ayeste, I already declined your challenge because it's the wrong time control, so you guys know. Milan Kirai, because it's just 5-3, guys. Let me centralize this. Wait, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. All right. You guys are funny. Look. Here. All right. All right, now, do you understand? All right. 5 plus 3. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Blue Crow played the Veresov opening, and therefore the Trompowsky. I need to put this where you guys can see it better, maybe. Maybe down here in the middle where it's very visible. Alright. I had the same game the other day, Blue Crow, 2 weeks ago in the Budapest Team Championship. Was there no knight g3? No knight g3. I don't know. In what position? I played knight takes g2. There could have been knight takes h3 check, but he was lost by that point. I thought honestly he should have gone for the bishop on c5 with knight a4 when he had the chance to do that. Blue Crow repeating my game from 2 weeks ago against father of Grandmaster Laszlo. Father of Grandmaster Mihok. Mihok Laszlo. FIDE Master. I won a nice game against him. It's not a big accomplishment beating someone who's 200 rating points lower than you, but still it was a nice game. The first time I've ever played this particular line, I remember playing a blitz game, or a couple blitz games with... Whoa, dude. You know what? I didn't even consider that's possible here. It's probably wrong, though. I mean, it really doesn't look right. Where's your knight gonna go, dude? I mean, I have e6. This is just horrendous for white. Another name that I can't remember. Grandmaster from the United States, originally from Armenia. And I'm not talking about Varuzhan Akobian. There's a guy, he plays on ICC a lot. Melik, they call him. Oh, Kachian. Kachian played this variation against me some blitz games. I remember that. but it's pretty bad for white, I would think. I don't want to just continue aimlessly here, but he's going to have to put his king on a very strange square. No, you have to take back on d4, Plucro. This is not really like kosher for white. I'm not sure that I have a forced win. Looks like his king can walk out. It's tempting to play something like b6, bishop a6, but maybe have some tricks. I don't know. If I take on e3, I was scared of rook d1. Then I have knight d4 check, though. Ooh, that's nasty. Knight d4 check. Actually, that's not bad. But taking on e3 actually gives him more options and stuff. Excuse me. I could also just trade pawns and play something like queen a5 and just like be up a pawn and try to trade queens. That's not a bad option, probably. So, what do you want to do here, guys? Well, actually, we're threatening queen d2. Ouch. This could be like just winning by force, come to think of it. Sometimes the obvious move is the best, huh? Kachian. Excessive use of caps. Guys, we're playing 5+3 challenges today only. Man, I think he's just gone here. Not Plucro's brightest day. Experimenting in a new opening realm. Step out into the limelight. You know, oddly enough, I don't see a forced win. This looks visually devastating, but there has to be a forced win. If I play check first, he's going to hide on h3. Rook check first, he'll hide on h3. Okay, so we check first and then take on f4. Okay, this is check, check, and then take on f4, and we're winning a piece at the very least. Not my best game. Not my best game, no. Okay, let's keep it simple. There is a check on b5. Just should be aware. It's not mate. Actually, he has bishop b5 check, king e7, so it's nothing. I don't know if I had anything better, but in the interest of keeping us safe, we're just going to be a piece up. Alright, Plucro. That was a very anticlimactic game. Now we've got the police chief, rated 2677. We had a very touch-and-go draw the first time I played with him the other day at 8-3. But he's clearly a strong blitz player. Alright, police chief, good luck. Knight f3. And I don't know this player that well, you know, so he's new to the stream and pretty new to lichess, and I don't know his style, so I have a lot of different openings and different styles I can play, and I like to kind of adapt to my opponents. And I don't know him that intimately well enough to really know his strengths and weaknesses. So that's why I'm kind of being cautious here. Knight e5 is supposed to be like the move, I think, but I don't really know it. What the follow-up is after that very well. Knight e5. I think bishop e6 is being played. No, I'm going to go with c4. This is more standard. I saw some recent games with knight e5. In fact, I played this myself with black not that long ago in a tournament in Harkine, and I barely won a game against a 2,100 player, miraculously. But we can't really count on an opening advantage with knight f3, g3. It's just Alright, we're wasting a lot of time. This is a strong player. I'm just going to play. Yeah, the standard position. So, d3, I think. Maybe I should play knight e5 now, though. I think there's something to be said for that. But I'm not sure. d3 is more standard. You can also take on d5. I think you should probably wait. Alright, anyway. There's one trick that you need to avoid for sure, and that's when they play knight d7. He took here. This is kind of a concession. It's not terrible for black, but it's better to play knight d7 first, I think. He has tricks there if he plays that better, you know, that move order. So I think he should prefer that. Okay, this is still like pretty much like about equal, but it's a little more accurate to play knight d7 rather than exchanging queens on b3. I think I would think that he should wait. Now knight c3. I never know whether to go knight c3. Knight c3 is better than knight d2 in general, though. And maybe knight d4 sometimes. Bishop e3. It's equal. More or less equal. London system reversed, or Trompowsky Tory attack reversed. We're not really aspiring to get an advantage in the opening, just like have a solid game and avoid theory. But I have to take a look at this. I think that knight e5 on move 4 in this position is considered to be critical, but I haven't really looked at it. c4 isn't as good, I guess. Who was the other IM that was playing from Serbia recently on the stream? One should be playing what he is good at. One should be playing, not necessarily. I mean, there's lots of reasons you might want to improve other aspects of your game. You know, you might want to play to your opponent's weaknesses. So it really depends. We just don't really have any advantage here. You can go for the bishop pair for whatever that's worth. It would slightly weaken my structure to play g4, but he's keeping it very simple, trading his guy. But I don't know what he achieved with that. Really nothing. Knight e5 is a bit weird. He's going back. The problem is that his position is still fundamentally like really sound and solid, no matter what I do. Though it's hard for him to do something here as well. Maybe just objectively like equal. And knight c5 could be a threat. I don't know what to do here. f4, d4. Now d4 could be playable. I mean, everything's playable, but what's really right? I don't know. Opening up the white squares for myself, somehow. I don't know what to do. We have two bishops, but it's such a closed structure that the two bishops don't really mean a whole lot here. So I would evaluate this as dead equal. There's ways he could end up worse in the ending, though. He could drift into an endgame where maybe there's some pawn imbalance, and like my bishops are advantageous. So it's not impossible that we could get an advantage later on down the line. You know, I'm hoping that we can find some way to get an edge. But it looks pretty tough, to be honest. So solid here. No pawn weaknesses. No, we could play d4. Does make our... It does make our bishop kind of bad, though, if we play d4. Now he's playing this. Alright. Now hopefully he'll overextend himself. He's kind of playing with fire. I have rook a5. That doesn't work. We have bishop b4. Rook a5. Well, rook a5 is interesting, but it doesn't quite cut it. Bishop b4. It also just doesn't quite cut it. Rook a3. Alright, so I don't know. We could play b4, b5 maybe, and open it up. You know, it's kind of controversial the way he played d4. This is risky, and his pawns are now... You know, he's opened up my bishop on bg2 to some extent. b4, b5 could be a problem. We have rook a5 again. That would be strange to play rook a5 now. So b5 at some point is gonna be relevant. Looks like maybe right away I should play it. But I'm just sacking a pawn if I do that. Actually, what am I thinking? Yeah, that's kind of weird to do that. We're getting really low on time. Alright, let's get the rook off this stupid square here. Maybe double on the A file. He's got so much more time than me. I like the two bishops though. This pawn on d4 is kind of weakened. Now we have b5. Still doesn't work, does it? Well, it should work. We can get the pawn back. We want to open it up for the two bishops. Maybe I up the screwed here. Just no time. He's too fast. If I had more time, I would play for a win, but I just 15 seconds. I'm better here. I mean, the computer says it's a draw, but I think that's the rep it's talking about, you know? I mean, we stand better. Rook a2, yeah. Just it's unpleasant having no time. Alright, man. Too fast for me. Constant change. Good game. I don't think he should play d4 though. He got a little bit too ambitious. He was equal. You know, he voluntarily played d4. It's too risky, but he did have a lot more time, so he probably wouldn't do that if I wasn't in time pressure. I'm better, but it's not that much time. If I make one mistake, I'm gonna lose. I need to be extremely precise in that position. I mean, I can't afford to make any mistakes. My advantage is there, but it's a small one. Now, constant change, knight f3. I'm losing my voice. I don't know why. Let's play e6. We never play this against constant change. Standard chess position. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but I don't think you should trade on queens right away. Trade queens right away, I think. You know, it's better to play knight d7 first, I thought. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's still fine, though, for black. Yeah, it's standard. let's see what constant change does here. I don't think I ever played a what's it called? Scheveningen, that's right. Against constant change? I don't remember. It's kind of interesting. This was my old repertoire when I started out as a master, like a weaker master. I played for years and years this setup for black, but you know, the Carries attack is dangerous. The automatic robot mod. You mentioned chess like titles like CM, FM, the GM with caps lock, and moderator blocked me for 10 minutes. Yeah, but it must have warned you once, like, before it blocked you, you know. That's stupid, though. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's not like you're spamming with caps. It's kind of weird. I mean, you should be able to write some caps without getting banned by the robot. I apologize. He was very solid, but I have to look at knight e5 after bishop g4 because there were some strong games, some strong players playing knight e5 recently. Normally that move's not necessarily that good, but all right. Constant change taking his time here. But I surprised him because I never played the Scheveningen on the stream really. So he's a little. I've been playing the Caro Kann against constant change almost every game lately. So he wasn't expecting this. He's leaving the book, ladies and gentlemen, with bishop b5. Okay, well this is going to transpose to some kind of weird classical Sicilian after bishop b5. I mean, it's a playable move. It's not dangerous for black. I've seen this position a million times recently, like with bishops on b5 and g5. The Rouser attack, or what's it called, the Richter attack. Knight back to f3. That's interesting. Suddenly avoiding an exchange of pieces there. Why necessarily knight f3 here? You know, I was just talking to one of my students about the Najdorf, you know, because I don't really play the Najdorf, and I play against it sometimes. But, you know, the advantage of the Najdorf is that you don't have the stupid knight on c6 that in the Sicilian, it seems like I played the classical and against the Richter Rouser. I mean, the knight on c6 is always getting in the way of all the pieces. It gets in the way of the rook. It gets in the way of the bishop. It gets in the way of the c-file. It gets in the way of the queen. It gets, you know, it just gets in the way. That's why in the Najdorf it's better to have knight d7 all the time, knight b6. It seems like the Najdorf, the main point is that you don't put the knight on c6. What's knight f3? Okay, I'm just thinking too long here. If bishop e7, bishop f4, queen b8. I thought, what's up with that? Do we just play a6 for fun here? I hate making this move in a way because the bishop seems badly placed on b5, to be honest. So I don't like to chase pieces that are badly placed. But, you know, it's very useful in the Sicilian to avoid things like knight to b5. If I want to play queen c7, I have to avoid knight b5. He takes right away, so this is just some sort of harmless type of setup, basically. You know, queen d3. But black could be better slowly. Should get the pieces developed. It actually looks like a bad. It looks like a bad checkover variation for white. With, like, you know, queen takes d4, and then he just did some totally random moves like queen d3, knight f3. Yeah, it's just a really slow checkover variation. And black should have a pretty significant edge here. Two bishops. What is that song, you know, from the 90s, the 80s? Oh, it's like Dire Straits. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. You've got the bishops for nothing. In this position, it's the bishops for nothing and your chicks for free. So Bishops for nothing look pretty strong here, actually. This one is quiet now, but he could be a strong piece later on. This bishop is for nothing. Very powerful piece. We wouldn't trade him for the world. It's possible white's position isn't that bad, but I wouldn't want to have this position with white against the top player. It would be pretty torturous. And we have queen b7, right? You can't play e5. There's no tactical shot now. And I don't have e5. I mean d5. Hey, maybe that was my subconscious telling me to play e5. Oh, e5 allows bishop g5. I think he's kind of got quite a bit of counterplay. We've got a5 though. Yeah, it looks good. Or maybe not. Logical. Yeah, this makes sense. And then if he tries anything extreme here, he could get punished. The good thing is still got the rook here. There's no knight b3 threatening stupid forks on a5. Oh, he's got that. Okay, that's better than b4, which basically like loses. White's got a lot of weaknesses in the position here. Looks really loose. So what do we do now? What do we do now? d5, b4. I don't know. It all looks good. Keep forgetting this is a blitz game. Can you kick him from here? What's that? Mupovats. Do I play Fischer chess? Willing to occasionally challenge? Yeah, I don't play a lot, but I'd like to play occasionally chess 960. I usually do 1 or 2 games if people want to on the stream. That would be cool because normally only some of the weaker players are challenge me to chess 960, and I don't think I've had a master level player challenge me to chess 960. But we've got bishop b5 and it just wins. Nice. Nice to take this out cleanly. Constant Change never really found his rhythm in this game. He was out of his comfort zone in the opening. I surprised him. Yeah, I would do that. The chess 960 is fine. Pretty much any stream I do, except for the Wednesday stream, when I'm trying to play, you know, weird openings. Obviously, if we play for weird openings, then it's kind of moot to play chess 960 because there are no openings. So every other day, I like to play chess 960, maybe like 2 games. So if he has time for b3, he's probably okay here, but this just wins. Everybody's protected except for my queen. But the only way to attack my queen is with knight a5 or knight d6. There's an old adage that you just keep all your pieces protected. You should keep all your pieces protected. John Nunn has the saying, you know, LPDO, which means loose pieces drop off. Do I have any tricks here? Possibly. Rook d8. Possibly. Rook d8. Try to be accurate. You know, I'd like to pick off the c4 pawn if I could. I can't win it by force, though. He can interpose something here. So, I thought this was a good interposition, rook there. I didn't see queen b3, but that's actually probably a bad move. He resigned. I don't know why he resigned, necessarily. In this particular moment. Surprising resignation. Maybe saw bishop a4, he just got sick of his position, I don't know, but... Alright, Megash, 1983. He was talking about the tournament in Poland. Alright, have we played before, Megash? No. The Najdorf with knight c6 is the Richter-Rauser. Well, technically the Richter-Rauser is only where white plays bishop g5. A lot of people, even strong players, like, misname it, you know, because it doesn't really have a name. Some people call the Sicilian with knight f6 and knight c6 and d6 the classical Sicilian, because it just, you know, it doesn't really have a name, as I was saying. All right, let's go with our solid approach to the English symmetrical. So technically the Richter-Rauser is only with bishop g5. Other lines are other lines. But I understand the thing about the Najdorf is it doesn't put as much pressure on the center immediately like knight c6. So there's some differences. In a sense, the Najdorf is more hyper-modern. I had a couple training games with one of my students the other day who plays the English. We're trying to help him to improve his English opening, and we had an interesting game in this line. Let's see what Megash does here. There's all different moves for white. Knight f3, e3, a3, rook b1, e4, d3. Take your pick. I mean, knight h3 you can even play. There's all sorts of moves. I'm kind of partial to a3. I think that's what Yasser plays, and knight f3 though is totally a classical move and very, very okay for white. Alright, we'll play the Serbian Grandmaster Strikovic is where I got this idea from. He probably borrowed it somewhere else, but I saw him playing this. He played this against me in a game on ICC last year, or before, I don't remember when it was. And then I looked it up and I saw all kind of players like Malakov were playing bishop f5. And I don't understand, like, it looks like a beginner move, you know. But the results in the database are very good for black. Normally I'm playing queen d7 here. I've been playing this system for quite a while. A Larson idea. But this you got to have more than one idea. So bishop f5. Mupovac's countryman was playing this bishop f5 in blitz, and it seems like a really good way for black to like equalize. I don't think that it's easy for white to get an advantage. In fact, I had this game against a weaker player in Zalakaros last year, and I couldn't do anything with white. After like 15 moves, I offered a draw because I just literally didn't have any advantage. I didn't want to draw against this guy, but the position was so equal and boring, I just couldn't. I was even worse. I was even worried I could be worse, despite the fact that I played entirely natural moves. So this seems like a quite an interesting setup for black. I had a computer when I was a kid, when I first started playing chess, a standalone chess computer that was rated around 2100 or something. And the thing used to play, it always used to make moves like this against my English opening. Just putting bishops where they can be attacked by pawns and stuff. I think that Megash played what I played. I think I played d3 and rook e1 myself. No, I take it back. I didn't play rook e1. But maybe rook e1's the best move for him. I think this is what I was going to play if I had it to do over again. Alright, let's see. Now what? Bishop h3. I guess bishop h3 makes some sense. I don't have to do it. But there are some problems, like, let's see what, knight g5 might be an issue. Knight g5, potentially an idea for him here. Let me see. Bishop h3, bishop h1, h6. Something like that, I guess. I don't want to allow knight g5, so I think this is kind of like standard to stop this. I mean, this whole setup is kind of experimental for black, obviously, but I'm pretty sure this is what you're supposed to do to ensure that they don't have knight to g5. But I like the way Megash played it, you know, with rook e1. It's very sensible. So he's preparing to play like b4. Not sure how I should meet this. I have to get my pieces developed though. I mean, if he does achieve b4, I guess I can meet it with like b6 or something if I move my rook in time. Maybe around here I should play something along the lines of rook c8 and meet b4 with b6. That looks pretty solid. Keeping this overprotected. I have to admit that black's position looks a little bit artificial. The bishop on h3, not castled yet, but it's not so easy for white to do anything. Another player I saw play this kind of setup for black, and I thought it was strange long ago, back in 10 years ago, was actually Megash's countrywoman, Iveta Radzievich. I did see her actually play setups like this with black. She once did it against me, in fact, and that was before Malakov and other people, but I thought it was just like something random, but it was clearly computer generated because her husband is Vasek Rilich, the American IM, who's a programmer, and he's developed, let's see, what's it called? Ribka. The developer of Ribka. Now if I play knight d4, I think I've got to calculate a bit, but it looks interesting. Knight d4, knight d2, castles e3. Well, it seems okay to me. Yes, I'm aware of the tactical tricks here, but I thought that I'd get a lot of counterplay. Now, maybe I'm wrong. So Iveta was playing some stuff with like bishop d7 and queen and bishop f5 long ago. I thought it was just something that Ribka made up, probably. But this is not really enough, I guess. No, wait a minute. Take. Oh yeah, I have knight. So there, I think that Megash missed this. I mean, this looks like the key line: bishop c6, take, knight d5, or knight e4, and then like take, queen a4 check, and white's probably winning because of that check. If I could castle, I would have great compensation, but I'm going to lose my right to castle, which is going to destroy my position. So I think that bishop c6 is probably like winning for white there. You know, now it's like objectively equal. So he missed his chance based on this idea of queen a4. If not for that, I would have 2 pawns for the exchange or some kind of really good compensation. You know, now the position is more or less maybe equal, maybe a little bit better for white, maybe not. But that was a tough line, bishop c6. I didn't see queen a4. Queen a4 check at the end of those lines. I'd have to play king f8, and my position would look kind of messed up. I mean, maybe I'm just that my a7 pawn is very weak. Maybe actually I'm threatening mate on g2. White would have to play f3. Then I could defend my a7 pawn with my king on f8. But it looks kind of sketchy for black. I don't really like that. All right. What are we doing here? King h8, king h7. I mean, he's preparing to play very straightforward a4, a5, and all that nonsense. So, queenside majority against central majority. I mean, I guess it's just a race. It's like a Benoni. My pawn break is with e4, and he's trying to break down on the queen side with a4, a5. Seems like I'm kind of pretty fast here. e4, any tactics for black? Not really. Can get a c4 pawn. But he's not that fast with his counterplay, so maybe I have time to develop some threats around here. What am I going to do? I could play queen f7, queen e6. It's a blitz game. He played bishop d5. Alright, that's obviously a logical move. Where's my brain allowing that? e4. I shouldn't have let his bishop come to d5. That was sort of stupid. It was completely unnecessary, too. g5, f4. Here. The subtle threat of bishop takes h6 there. I'm looking for e3. It doesn't seem to work. This position is actually pretty balanced. He actually can't take my e4 pawn. That's pretty obvious. Decided to go uber caveman here. And just try to seal him off and kill him on the king side. Basically a king's Indian. G3 square can't be protected. No, that was a blunder. He's still hanging on there to the last minute. Yeah, I mean, even at the end, I mean, maybe he's still hanging on. No, apparently not. Like it wants him to play rook takes g7. Too hard to hang on, I guess. I don't know where we left book in the opening, though. Let's see. Just out of curiosity. So rook e1, bishop h3, bishop h1. Idani, this Iranian player, Konstantin Landa, has played it. 2015, Gunnarsson, Salgado Lopez. h6. Rook b1. That's a new move. I mean, it shouldn't matter, though. It should transpose to a3. Right. And now everybody played knight g4. I don't know about that. Knight g4. a5 is logical to stop him. You know, probably that's best. It's kind of anti-positional, but I should try to stop b4, I guess. All right, guys, let's continue. Interesting. Angry buffet. The worst kind of buffet, basically. There's a rated game on the list. All right, this is not it. Who's the rated game? Come out with your hands up. Yeah, Cobra Bro. He's provisional anyway, so I probably can't play him. I don't play anybody with less than like 50 rated games. Angry Buffet. I called him Angry Buffet. Sorry. My short range vision is poor. I need to get glasses. Too much computer time. Too much screen time. Ah, yes. The Pribble. I've had one game against a very strong opponent in this opening. An epic game against Alexander Ivanov in kind of rapid chess or something. I think we had a battle. Bishop d3 or e5, right? I mean, Adams has played this for black years ago, but this should be main line, right? Fun opening for black. Kind of a relative of the... It's a cross between a Peertz and a Philidor, I guess. I don't know why I feel like I'm a tempo down or something. Strange. It's very strange. Why do I feel like I lost the tempo here? Okay, I thought this is normal, but it's very odd. Bishop d3. Right, okay, this is fine. Bishop e3, d3. Angry Buffel 1700, he doesn't use any time. And I'm not allowed to click on people anymore. Why does that hyperlink not work? Is something with my Firefox? Does anybody know? What's that? Nabil just canceled the challenge. What? Nabil's challenging me to rated 2? Not Nabil. Cobra Bro just keeps challenging me, but he doesn't understand that we don't play rated games. So A3, I think he just made a mistake. A3, queen takes B2, knight A4, right? It's like a trick in the French. Queen B4 is Angry Buffalo. Angry Buffalo. El Clasico. Poison pawn style. It's like how they do A3 in the classical French and also in the Najdorf. Sometimes in the Slav, sometimes in queen pawn openings. A3 always traps the queen. Greedy play, queen b4. Thematic but greedy. New player, Beefalo. Thank God for the G pawn, or whatever you believe in. Some kind of higher entity gave me that G pawn to take on F3. No other move will do. Angry Beefalo, and he's sacking the queen, but there's not enough here. Now, once I lost to Alexander Ivanov, we had a real barn burner of a game in rapid chess. I remember in this line, in the main line with knight bd7. Probably a good opening for rapid chess, but I wouldn't recommend playing it like in long games with black necessarily, unless you really want to like torture yourself. I would liken it to me playing the Scandinavian with knight f6 in serious games. Probably you're making your life difficult playing such openings. Making your life more difficult than it needs to be, basically. All right, let's get that knight off of a4, huh? That's not really gonna do it. I don't think this is gonna do it. Maybe I should think about b2. I don't know. But I'm gonna consolidate now. We have extra material, queen for a rook. So just be careful. Don't underestimate the opponent and close it down. Our pieces are in kind of weird squares. As far as my king goes, I should probably just castle. Angry Beefalo is not giving up without a fight. We're going to protect our strong point here on d4. Guys, we're streaming till 12:30, about another hour. Constant change, I resigned because I was losing dark square bishop with rook a3. I completely missed that, constant change. I was like only looking at bishop a4, trying to go after your... I didn't see it even after the game when I like stopped to analyze for a moment. I still didn't see it. That idea wasn't on my radar at all. I was asking everyone, why did he resign? I mean, you are down a piece, but I guess we'll try to attack here. Angry Buffalo doesn't make any pawn moves or unnecessary weaknesses. Hard to beat guys like that, but he is down material, so we're going to try to force him, whether he likes it or not, we're going to try to force him to make some pawn moves now. Or other inconveniences. There it is. Okay, that's a start. Start probing the white squares. I don't really have any interest in weakening my structure. A4, A5 might come in handy. It makes me very... I'm an angry player now because I don't like that I can't click on things and see people's ratings like usual. Why is that? Because it's a rated game, and it's not a rated game. It's an informal game in progress. Because it's a game in progress, or just because my browser is stupid? Does anyone know why I'm not allowed to do that? Okay, finally it's over. Forced mate. I guess he had to play knight f6 here. Objectively. Angry Buffalo. I don't think anyone's ever dared to play queen b4 before. Can we see? No, this is a bishop g4. Knight b7 is the main move. Okay. No, it's not actually. Bishop g4 is the main move. Okay. And then bishop e3, and now queen b4. Tn, not a good idea. It's even better to play d takes e5 according to the engine, but I'm not sure. Now a3 is right. Wow, Chatal Bashev, Efimov. Efimov played this for black. Queen b4 for real. Chatal Bashev is on my chess team. Queen b6. Efimov did that. That's crazy. All right, guys. Milan Kirai. Let's try d4. My browser is making things difficult. I updated it the other day, but it's probably... It just seems like it sometimes cooperates and sometimes doesn't. Just without any reason. Okay, so against the Queen's Gambit, I mean, the traditional lines with bishop g5 are kind of out of fashion because it's hard for white to get an edge. But honestly, it's hard for white to get an edge in any kind of lines. You know, the bishop f4 lines as well. So I don't think it really matters. Let's play knight f3. Nabil said I am next, but I rescinded the challenge because it was rated. Okay, Nabil, you'll be next. It's Cobra Go guys. Yeah, he's taken away his challenge. Milan Karai, did you do this before? We had another game like this recently. You're basically playing like the Tartikover Queen's Gambit without h6. I looked at this recently and don't know if because of that other game with you or someone else. But there is no real easy way for white to take advantage of it. I found one game where like Adorian played a quick bishop b5 check. It was unimpressive. I mean, normally black plays always h6 around here. So how can we take advantage of him not doing that? Take, bishop b5 check. Doesn't really benefit us that much. I'm just going to play like what I normally play against the standard Tartikover. We'll just play our normal setup, Karpov style. Now the problem is I didn't take on f6. Oh shit. I forgot to take on f6, but I'm not sure it makes sense really taking on f6 if he hasn't played h6. That's the other problem here. Now my bishop's on a stupid square. It would be better placed on d3. Oh man, I don't know what to do now. This is a really harmless line for white now. I played bishop e2 after castles. I guess I have to take here and play c takes d. Now I end up in a silly position where my bishop is passively placed. I have no place to put my queen. This is an unofficial disaster. This is absolutely like I'm playing black or something. Whatever. We don't have an advantage because of bishop e2. And my failure to trade bishop takes f6 and castle automatically. The basic idea would be to play a structural concept. So I take on f6 unprovoked, take on f6, play c takes d, and then e takes d and b4. But now that he's played knight bd7, he can recapture with a knight on f6, and the whole plan doesn't make sense because I no longer have b4. I thought about rook b1 there, trying to play for b4, which Krasnikov has done in some Tartikover lines, but black just has c5 here. So basically it's like I'm black in some kind of Queen's Indian or something. I mean, I don't know. Or I'm black in some sort of b3 opening. Okay, now bishop f4 looks sort of interesting. Let's go for that. Bringing pressure down on f7. Nice arrow. Bishop f7, c7, f7, c7. I'm good with the coordinates, guys. I had a good night's sleep last night. I don't know why I'm a little bit spaced out, but h6. I guess the more standard move here is bishop h4. Bishop f4 is kind of ambitious. I was thinking if knight h5, maybe I play bishop e5, and idea knight takes e5, d takes e5, leaving his knight hanging out there. So now we exchange on d5 or not? Yeah, probably. This looks like a good moment to exchange on d5. Black has to be thoughtful. I skipped Nabil. Yeah, I'm going to play him next. Sorry about that. I told him. I apologize personally. Yeah, we have to take... He blundered. Now you have to take back with the pawn here. Actually, I think you should probably take back with the pawn straight away. But now you lose to bishop a6. Just a blunder. Black playing too quick. I don't think this helps him. You know, bishop takes f3. I don't see how that makes the situation any less problematic. Probably you're just better off not doing bishop takes f3. This is a strong piece. I think Milan kind of panicked after blundering. So, weird position. I'm going to play Nabil next. Like in the opening, when he doesn't do, when he does this b6, it's a very, very rare move. But interesting way of avoiding main lines. And I don't think there's any clear refutation. bg5, bishop e7, e3, castles, or bishop b7. Look at the score for black here. These are very few games, though. No one famous. Bunch of decent players. It's not easy for white to prove an advantage here. Bishop e2. And now I should play bishop takes f6, see? Everybody played bishop takes f6. Oh, Guy Amagami's played this for black. Landa. Bishop takes f6. Interesting opening, Milan. So we're going to play Nabil. 5 plus 3. We should have time to get to the rest of these challenges. Williams playing bullet. I'm playing bullet. Or Simon Williams. Okay, e4. Wow, they stopped the construction. There's construction on the second floor of my building, and like since about 8:30 this morning, I've been vibrating. And it's weird now that I'm not vibrating anymore. There's like a huge generator downstairs. I guess they went to eat lunch early or something. For the last 3 hours, like the whole building has been shaking basically. And I just realized that it stopped. Yeah, man, I mean, I have no interest in playing bullet. And not only like not streaming it, I'm not really interested in playing it myself. I think that it's addictive and a waste of time. You're going to get a lot more out of playing longer games. I think people are kind of like attention deficit for the most part. You know, they need the sugar rush of playing 1-0, 2-0 games. But objectively, it's not about improvement. It's just about entertainment, you know. Knight f3. So, losing my voice, guys. It's a good thing I have a day off tomorrow. Right, so here, alright. There are a lot of different moves. This is kind of an aggressive line. I think Karpov played this. But arguably, it's probably safer to play knight d7 or knight e7. Nabil's continuation is very quiet. I think bishop e3 is probably the main line. c3 is pretty reserved, and I don't think that's overtly dangerous for black. I'm actually not sure about the proper move order for black here. Maybe I'm supposed to play knight c6, but then my knights get tangled up. We definitely need to take a deeper look at this. This doesn't look right to me in this position. bg5 doesn't really do anything. I mean, I'm going to come through with this knight. Try to bring the knights across through e7 and c6. Taking on d4. He has knight takes d4. That's the problem. I'd love to play c takes d4, but he has knight takes d4 with a decent game, I think. Knight e7 looks okay. Yeah. This seems right. We've got to focus on development. Caro-Kann, typically the problem is the knight can't go to f6, so the knights get a little bit tangled up. Now what? He's going to play knight b5 or something? Nabil is from Jordan. Oh, he likes to play bullet, I see. Okay. Yeah, I remember you now, Nabil. Is knight b5 a threat? Is that something I should worry about? Maybe. But a6 looks awfully slow for black. Yeah, probably I should just focus on my development. Knight b5 looks kind of slow for white. I mean, he's wasting a lot of time. No excessive use of symbols allowed, Mule Skinner. Nigel would be proud of Nabil. Well, I don't know if he'd be proud of bishop g5, but queen d2, bishop g5 is pretty unusual. I think the plan is, you know, the correct line is bishop e3 here. This looks slightly incorrect for white. Don't ask me what the concrete refutation of white's position is. Now we can take on d4. Still taking with the knight, I guess. It's kind of irritating. Well, whatever. I mean, that's fine. I'll take with the knight and develop my bishop. Black's quite solid. I mean, you could play something like bishop g6, knight takes d4, bishop g6. This pawn is hanging on e5. That's actually interesting. You know, I mean, I should give this some thought. Or bishop e4, probably better yet. We're just trying to pick off the e5 pawn. Then you'd have to play something weird like f4. But maybe he has time for bishop e3, etc., etc. I'm going to play it safe here. Play it like a Slav, basically. Knight b5 is always a possibility. But it may or may not be a good move in reality. But Nabiok's playing pretty well strategically, you know. I mean, I'm a little bit scared, to be honest. Seems like white still has something here. Queen c1. I'm happy to see queen c1. That move feels a bit passive to me. Could play h6. a6 looks like the right idea. Stopping knight b5. And I thought that queen e3 was better than queen c1. Queen e3 kind of... He didn't like it probably because now he goes there. Maybe he's listening to the stream, I don't know, but probably he didn't feel comfortable about his bishop not having retreat squares, you know, around there. I think that black's fine here. Actually, what am I talking about? Did I just miss queen takes d4 last move? No, it was too dangerous because of knight b5. No, he was... I don't know if he was trying to like sucker me into taking this pawn or why he went queen c1. Interesting. I don't know, bishop e4. Sure if it matters. Bishop g6. Man, this guy is aggressive. Wow. Spatial understanding for white. His pieces are kind of weird, though. Maybe I'd like to have a square for my bishop to retreat to. I don't know. Rook c8 looks fine. I'm just thinking, should I play the other rook to c8 and retreat my bishop back to f8 sometimes? Is that an option? But the Caro-Kann plan, you know, wow, look at this knight b1. He did what I wanted to do, basically. Bishop takes is interesting, but it weakens my king side. He just missed winning a piece. He just missed winning a piece with a3. I thought that was the whole point, and I didn't see it at first. My bishop had no retreat squares. So we're both sleeping here. I mean, after knight b1, the threat was a3, and he wins a piece. I'm just playing really badly now. Now he's just better. Nabil, quite the positional player. And fast. 2100 in bullet. That's impressive, dude. Rook b3 is kind of weird. Wow, dude, you're pretty uncompromising. I didn't realize how fast Nabil really is. You know, I understand why he wants to play bullet now, because this is his forte, basically. My knight is a little bit lost. I don't have a check. Yeah, draw is fine with me. I mean, I'm worse here, probably. My knight is almost trapped. Maybe not. Maybe I made a mistake. I should play for a win. Okay, it's a draw according to the engine. I could play king b7 and try to play knight h2, knight g4 in this position. Very, very tense position there. I thought I was lost at the end. I was close to lost if I wasn't lost. It looks pretty bad. This ending looks pretty bad. I didn't intend on this happening. I mean, maybe this is a draw, but I blundered it. I didn't mean to get into this position. Alright, Ayesta doesn't have enough rated games. Now I can see. Well, he has enough. Alright, just about 50. We'll let him slide. I require everybody to have like 50 games. Looks like he just does have about 50 games. So that's cool. Alright, let's see if he's here. Anyway, good game. How come I can see Ayeste's games now and the other guys I couldn't? There's some bug in my browser. Now it's suddenly working. It's strange. Anyway, guys, I have a simul on Sunday. I just want to remind everyone about that. 6:30 p.m. here on lichess. 20 to 25 players, depending on how tired I am from a morning game. We'll be playing a simul on lichess. 6:30 p.m. CET. Alright, Ayeste. I thought he was provisional, but he's not. 13 games isn't a question mark? I thought you had a question mark until you had more or something. So he's playing the Rosalimo. Got a Serbian contingent. I'm using Firefox. I know that the Google works better with the chess engine, but on principle I don't like to support like big corporations, so I'd rather support Mozilla than, you know, by using that than Google. D3 is kind of quiet for white. I think the main line is C3 here. I had a very important game I drew with Leonid Yudasin once. We were playing for a tie for first place in the World Open, and we drew. I think I won some small prize money, but that happened to me twice. That I finished a half point out of first place at the World Open with a draw in the last round. But D3 is a little bit passive. It's okay. I think that the better plan is C3, trying to open it up. It's kind of how to say, counterintuitive, because first of all you've traded off your white square bishop and then you're making like white square weaknesses in the position. The other thing is that black has the bishop pair and you're opening the position, so that's actually what makes chess really hard. The fact that there are multiple like concepts often like actually contradicting each other. They're back to work here at the house, constructing on the second floor. I'm vibrating again. There's a generator, massive generator downstairs. You guys can't hear it. Oh wait, the mouse over works on the left too. Yeah. So before it wasn't working at all, and I don't understand why. Ayeste here, very slightly passive move, queen e2, but I don't think there's anything drastically wrong with that. He may be playing for some kind of tricks, actually. You know, sacrifices on e5, maybe. This is my standard setup for black. I have lost some games in blitz where I kind of overreached myself in such positions. It's not that easy to break down white's position. I guess I'd rather fianchetto. Maybe I should have considered g6, bishop h6. Solid positional player. The thing is, I can't really, you know, I don't want to take on e4 and give him this pressure down the d file against my bishop on, my pawn on d6, whatever it is, bishop, pawn. I don't know what it is. Knight h5, knight f4. White's trying to play a closed position. like it's an exchange Lopez or something. And I want to keep it fluid and kind of like create some possibilities for my bishop pair. So taking on e4 just gives him play along the file. Reasonable strategical play. I mean, it's Nimzovician style for white. Doubled pawn, inflict the doubled pawns, blockade. Just that he, this is a very solid point on e5. It's hard for him to break this down without a piece sacrifice or f4, which is very dodgy. Now what do I do? Looking for like a white square counterplay because he doesn't have a white squared bishop, maybe. Typical Grand Prix attack type of thing. Dutch. Okay, you can call it like a Dutch defense for black in a sense. Now here he can castle either side, which is kind of interesting. He may end up castling queenside. It's a very complicated, I wanted to say complex position. That means the same thing as complicated, right? So there it is, castles queenside. Very hard to get at his king here. I mean, a5 is probably just a bad move. And again, we've got to try to be fluid and flexible. So we'll induce some weaknesses in the man's... We'll try to induce some weaknesses in the man's position here. Probing the Feher Kotskak, the white squares. And there it is, some white square weakness now. And some weird stuff's going on around here now. We can take on e4 now and play bishop g4, pinning him, which looks very problematic for white, but he does have some defenses. Again, this is much like an exchange Lopez. Take bishop g4, rook d3. Oh, this is interesting. But if I do that, I'm committed forever then to having this backwardness along the file. That's a big issue here. It's sort of artificial. Take, bishop g4, rook d3, bishop g5, check. And then what do I do? King b1, and then what do I do? Never played this guy before, but he seems extremely strong positionally. I just don't see a way to break through. I don't really like taking on e4 if I don't have something concrete. Then it's probably just a bad move. I can play queen g6 maybe. What does it do? Queen g6, bishop e6, just random developing moves. Man, I don't know. I'm running out of time. Random developing moves. Don't see what to do. It's like playing a rock. Maybe I have an idea here. This also helps to reinforce d6. I don't know. I just don't know how to make progress for black. My structure is fixed. Look at that move, h3. That's absolute best move in this position. Absolute best. Excellent move. Now I'm gonna like lose a piece or something. Seriously? No, I have knight f6. He's up to 2 minutes to my 14 seconds now. 1959. H3 is a stand-up move. Absolute best move in the position. Perfectly played by white. This guy's a strong player. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he hangs pieces, but strategically he's a master. It's possible that he's weak tactically. I wouldn't know in this position. I mean, there's just no tactics in the position. So if he's 1959, strategically he's better than that. Now he blundered, but I probably... Actually, I'm not that sure. He left the D file. Okay, it's not a clear blunder, really. Maybe it is. Queen h6 check. Well, this move was debatable. Strategically very strong player. He just started to panic a little bit. He still has a game here. Whew, man. Now I'm probably losing. Played badly the last couple of moves. This guy, come on, 1900. Extremely strong. Just tearing me apart. Not your everyday 1900. Our first game that he's ever played. Absolutely, like, ripped me to shreds. That's pretty impressive. And every move, like, instantly. Every move instantly, dude. That's pretty impressive, dude. Hasn't played too many games. Alright, whatever. Chess a Turco, 5+3. Pretty impressive speed and strength. He just had a lucky game. C4. Yeah, this guy is... He's a strong 1900 for lichess, definitely. I was thinking, well, maybe he's weak tactically, but the moves were just like bang, 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 like every single crushing move at the end. Chess a Turco, I don't think he's too weak tactically. Guys, we have time for like 2 more games, max. Just a Turco, kind of a weird setup here. Because I'm supposed to play d4 now? I guess he can transpose to a strange Grunfeld with the knight already on c6. That wasn't that wasn't really a pleasant game. I think I had an equal position at some point, but at the time I just started to collapse with the time pressure at the end. Bishop f5, e4 is a pawn sacrifice. Interesting one, maybe. Take, take, take. A strange opening. He offers me a takeback. Why are you offering me a takeback, dude? I'm not giving you a takeback. Bishop f5 is a good move. Why do you want to take back? You meant g5. You meant g4? Alright, Chess Turco. I mean, it's 5-minute chess, so we're really not going to give too many takebacks. You can have a takeback, dude, if you want, but I'm getting a little bit tired. He's not taking back. Bishop f5 is probably... Bishop f5 is probably a better move than Bishop g4, honestly. But maybe not. I don't know. So, I like Bishop f5 better, to be honest with you. Here I can play e4. This transposes to a very rare variation of the Chigorin, I guess. Very rare variation of Chigorin. I haven't played this in a long time. I used to like this line for white. I don't know, man. I think Bishop f5 is probably a better move. You're not dropping stuff. No, I don't think he thought he was dropping stuff. He just wanted to play this. It was like a mouse slip or something. This variation is pretty well known. I haven't seen this in ages, though. e5, d5. Knight b8. Queen a4 check, knight d7, knight takes e5, queen f6. This is an old Chigorin line that's considered to be dubious for black, I think. But e5 is a much more critical try. Now I just have a strong center. Now that's the key line. e5, d5, knight b8, queen a4 check, knight d7, knight takes e5, queen f6. And it's all known. I don't know what the final analysis is, but according to my sources, it's better for white. I guess I should try to attack b7. Maybe rook b1. But I have nothing special in that sense. I mean, maybe rook b1, queen a4. Does it achieve anything like rook b1, rook b8, queen a4? Just putting my pieces on strange squares. I don't know. Chesso Turco. From Turkey. Saturday is the ICC. No, I don't play on ICC really. They had their chance to work with me, but I don't think ICC is gonna be. I'm not really interested in playing tournaments online. I think that's a concept that's not gonna work. At least if money is involved. I mean, I like these tournaments that are like informal and for practice, but it's just too difficult to catch people cheating. I mean, it's practically impossible to detect people who are smart cheaters. I mean, forget about it, dude. They don't have the resources to do that. There's just no way. If you hold a tournament with prizes online, you can just guarantee that the winners will be cheating. It's too impossible, and it's just not a perfect science to catch people cheating. I mean, it's impossible. I'm not interested in playing computers. Hopefully we can keep over the board chess free of computers. Except for Deep Feller. We're a little bit better here. Knight A7 I don't like. He's trying to force through like B5. Oh man. Why I'm a little bit tired today. I had a good night's sleep last night. I think the problem was the wake up call from the generator. Yestis says thanks for the game. I was lucky at the end. I don't know if you were lucky, man. I think you were just good. Pretty strong. Maybe I had a winning position at one moment, but I was desperately low at time. And what's up with this position? Knight A7 for real? I have D5. We'll try to advance our center. Oh, you missed the point. The cheapo, that's the only thing I've got left for today, guys. We're a little burned out. It's time for the weekend. I'm going to enjoy my day off tomorrow. Bishop takes A7. Guys, check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training, because I'm going to be uploading a new video on the YouTube. I should be uploading if it goes correctly. I mean, I never know if like YouTube will cooperate or not, but there's always a chance something will go wrong. But we should be uploading a new video on the YouTube channel today. That's the plan anyway. So check it out, Video Chess Training on YouTube. And like and subscribe over there. I had to close the window. There's no air in here. I think that's why I'm struggling these last couple games. I'm kind of suffocating. It's not enough oxygen because of the generator. Outside it's making a really, really loud sound. But normally now it's getting warm enough that I leave the windows open when I'm doing the stream. Chesso Turco dropped a piece, and it looks decisive. Some of you guys gave me some easy games today, except for Ayeste. These guys with the generator, though, they're sort of teasing me. Like every 5 minutes they turn it off again. I think it's going to stop and then it starts again. I would have opened the window so I could breathe if I had known. What's up with this? Bishop c5, pawn takes pawn, bishop takes f8. I'm basically up a rook here. Alright guys, one last game while I can still breathe against Kyrgios Pass. Then I'm going to have to close down the stream for the day. Running out of oxygen in the office. So I think that's been hurting my performance in the last couple games. My mouse does crazy stuff sometimes. I don't know how I get on my screensaver. Let me open the window. I can't breathe. All right. We're back with an open window and no generator. I think they went to lunch. While the workers are at lunch, we'll play our last game. And play a6 like our friend Cry. A6, I guess, is not a bad move for black, actually. I could find, not A6, excuse me, B6. I could find no refutation. A6 is another move. Another experimental move for black. Last game, guys. Sorry I couldn't play more, but I've got to work on the YouTube video and get that up, and then enjoy my one day off every week. Let's see, knight on bd7. We're here streaming Monday to Friday, 10 to 12:30. On Monday, I do a longer stream where we're playing like 15 plus 2 games. That's been the plan lately anyway. So I try to make the Monday stream a little bit later because the games are really long. We try to play as many games as possible. It takes up to like 30 minutes per game. So Ayesta said the critical point was a move queen g6. I was afraid of taking on e4 instead of queen g6. Obviously, the critical point was that, but I didn't see anything clear for black. You know, I had bishop g4 and then rook d3, and I end up hitting a dead end. You know, it just looked like a dead end for me. So we'll look at it later. But okay, so a6. This is a line that's been played by a lot of players. I think they call this the Carlsbad variation. Played back in the days of... I once talked about a famous game that Rubinstein played with white. Ferenc Berkesh has played this for black recently. I've seen some GMs playing a6. I tried to recall a game I played in the tournament in the 1999 or 2000. I won the New England Open in like 2000 or maybe 1999, but I couldn't remember exactly what year. And I played a game with a master who... I followed this Rubinstein plan in this position of like knight a4, but I kind of forgot how my game went, you know. But I guess it's excusable to forget about a game. It's excusable to forget about a game from like 18 years ago. 1999. Hal Terry, 2200. I beat him. I think I beat Josh Friedel. Young Josh Friedel, Grandmaster now. Knight h5, that's a good plan. Trading pieces. Classic Nigel Short style. The only alternative here is bishop f4. So there's nothing to do, but that doesn't look great. Knight e5, anyone? So I think that Rubinstein basically played like knight a4 and knight c5, trading off this guy on d7 and looking at... Yeah, now I remember now, there was a Rubinstein game with queen b3 and knight a4, and I think maybe that's what I did against Hal Terry. The idea of exploiting this weakness on the dark squares. Something like kind of uber simple, Capablanca style. Just play for some kind of minuscule advantage for white. Minority attack ultimately, but objectively black should be pretty much okay here. It's really a small, very, very small advantage for white. I don't think this is that serious if black just plays very carefully. On the other hand, it's not a lot of fun to play black in this kind of position. One day I'll find that Rubinstein game, maybe put it here in a study on lichess so I don't forget about it. Yeah, he's a favorite player of mine. He was a mad genius. And actually, the saddest part about him was that then after the World War, he like basically spent the like last 20 years of his life in a mental institution, or basically something like that. I mean, he wasn't raving mad, but he just didn't play chess for like the last 20 years of his life when he still could, you know. Some people went to play him I think who was it? It's interesting, the life of Rubinstein, because who was the Belgian grandmaster? Some people went to play Rubinstein later when he was in the hospital. Some informal games. If you ever get a chance to check out the last games in the database, if you look up Rubinstein, you'll find some really late games that he played with some players, or recorded, not official games. He's just hanging a rook here. I'm sitting here, wow, I'm totally in outer space. That's so strange. I'm telling you, there's something about not enough oxygen in the room. Okay, I'm telling a story, but I didn't expect the rook to be hanging on a8. Anticlimactic, but thank God I saw it. I would feel really stupid if I didn't realize. I knew there was something strange going on here, you know. But we've got to end the stream for today. Sorry I spaced out. Objectively, what's going on here? The computer thinks it's equal. You have to take, queen takes b6. I think that white has maybe a slightly better chance because f4 and a4, b4, a4, b5. I mean, black, for his part, would like to play f5, f4. It just seems like in a pure sense, the position is not that complicated, and white's minority attack should give him some kind of a little bit more practical chances than black here. A very, very simple position. I don't know why the engine thinks that black is better, because 0.1 better for black. I would think it would be like 0.1 better for white. So I don't know. I need to relearn the game or something. It looks good though. A little bit better for me. And practically, I think that the chances are slightly better for white. But perhaps it's truly equal. Alright guys, we're going to be back on Sunday with the simul at 6:30 p.m. CET. We'll try to play as many players as possible. I think, let me see if there's any games here. Well, I don't know, knight h5. Yeah, this has been played. Oh my god. You're following my own game against Gergats Attila. 2010 Team Championship. I'm following my own game. I forgot about that. It was a relatively quick draw in a team tournament. What happened? He did this. This is game. Wow, so I did queen b3 in that game too. He played f5. That was a little crazy, huh? That is crazy, f5. Although thematic. Now I played knight a4, so we've been here before. King h8, knight b6, knight takes b6, queen takes b6. This is a slightly more committal version that Gergats Attila played against me. I mean, he's giving me the e5 square for my knight forever, basically. Then he went for an exchange of knights. That's awkward, and I had no good way of meeting that. So I played f4. Wow, I totally forgot about this. f4 with the idea of knight takes e3 and rook e1. And then I win. So queen h4, knight f3, queen e7. We repeated position. I was a little bit better here, but I didn't want to take any chances because it was a team game. Alright guys, we'll be back on Sunday with the simul, and also Monday 15+2 classical chess. Thanks to Plucro for moderating in the chat, and thanks for all you guys for watching. So classical chess on Monday and the simul on Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube. We're going to try to upload a new video today if YouTube cooperates. Don't forget to subscribe and like over there. I do upload all the streams if you want to re-watch a stream. Maybe you played against me or something, or just want to learn and watch. Check it out. They're saved to YouTube. And also I want to thank everybody who's made donations via PayPal to help support the stream on my YouTube channel. Thank you guys. Very generous. It's much appreciated. Bye-bye.